In our earliest days of our founding of our country, Benjamin Franklin, our presidency, said, freedom and democracy. Freedom and democracy on one thing, security here. If we don't have, we can't have either if we don't have both. So, security, economics, security, economy, and again, they're all, and governance, they're all related, and we want Taiwan to always
Okay, first graders.
This is the information that are given to teachers so that they are prepared to answer kids' questions. But we don't know what age group we're talking about specifically. Is that true?
That's right. And so these questions, the only appropriate answer is, that's not an appropriate thing to be talking about in class. Ask your parents.
She does not look very happy about that. I hope they can remove that, whatever it is.
The horn is approximately 5 inches long and said to be solid.
Oh, poor thing. How she survives with that. You just want to know, is this something particular to this poor old woman, or
me so horny?
Any of us? Is it even contagious? As a zoologist, I've seen a lot of weird things, but this really
me so horny.
Safely removed
me so horny.
As long as
me so horny.
Cutaneous horns are growths of compacted keratin. Sometimes they can be cancerous, sometimes they're not.
Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Put on the brakes, put on the brakes. Welcome, welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, hoofties, pufties, bung-eyed heifers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks, and chuckettes, kings and queens of the Northeast Kingdom to another version of It's News to Us. And before we go anywhere, Philo, in the booth we have Philo T. Farnsworth, College of Musical Knowledge, drummer extraordinary. You can see his videos at YouTube at Terry DeFazio. We'd like to express our condolences. We here at NEK-TV have lost one of our NEK-TV family has lost his wife, and the funeral's tomorrow. And as Scott Wheeler, I've had a lot of fun making fun of Scott over the years because of his voice, and he kind of sounds like Opie Taylor sometimes from Andy of Mayberry. But he's a good guy, and we'd like to express our condolences to him and his family on the loss of his wife. But anyways, here we are. Where are we? Who are we? We're here. Here we are. Oh, thanks, Philo. You are watching It's News to Us. We're Newport Soldiers TV News, Newport, Vermont. Here we now, Brown Cow, as locals say. We had adult themes and adult language. Not really, but I have to tell you anyways, because we are on at 8 p.m. sometimes. But we're the Bronze Age of the little sky god, going to beat you and forgive you and beat you and forgive you, just like Job in the old testicle. And here's our commander-in-chief. Oh my God, I wish I got video of him yesterday. He could not put on his jacket, Philo. He could not put on his own sport jacket. Jill was trying to help him. She kept trying to get his arm in the hole and it wasn't working. And then when they finally got the damn thing on, his Ray-Ban, his aviator cadaver glasses fell out of its pocket in the masks. It's just insane. The guy's off the charts. He's not there. And defund the police? No, we're going to defend the cops. And speaking of which, there's something going on, man. I don't know if there's I don't know if there's a bust or something. When I was coming in, I was down here at the stop sign, and I see two unmarked with their lights on and stuff coming towards me. And they had, like, I don't know, maybe an evidence thing or some trailer behind them. Something is going on here in Newport. I don't know what it is, or it could be county. It might have been the sheriff. God only knows. You know, to most of us, you know, you never, unless you know a cop, you don't know the crap that they have to deal with. And they deal with the same rotten, nasty drunks and punks and junkies day after day. And, you know, and I'll tell you what, man, they're the first responders. When you're wrapped around a tree and your car is a pile of smoking hot metal and busted glass, you'd be damn happy to see the cops show up. But anyways, last night, first time ever, the Department of Justice, or the FBI, raided Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago. And you know who bought that Mar-a-Lago and built that place, Philo?
No, I don't.
It was Marjorie Merriweather Post, I believe. She was heir to the cereal fortune, and she built it, I don't know, turn of the century or some damn thing. But anyways, get this. You know, there might not be conspiracies, but there are no coincidences, it seems. Did you know that the judge, it's not a judge, it's a magistrate, okay? A federal magistrate down in Florida signed the warrant, right? And did you know that this federal magistrate, he was defending the Epstein, the pedo island Epstein people?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm wondering, and they say, oh, well, we're going to go down there, we're going to get classified documents. Well, here's the thing. And did you know that Trump declassified a bunch of documents on his way out the door? And 18 months later, the Department of Justice and the FBI still hasn't released them, Philo?
Nope, didn't know that either.
Well, that's the deep state for you, you know. It's like, oh, sure, yeah, they're declassified, but, you know, we haven't looked through them yet. We haven't released them, you know. Sure, the president signed off on them, but, it takes a long time to look them over. And we have to redact certain portions that we don't think you should see. And so all these, because that's the thing. They're not classified. If the president has, up until the day that Dementia Joe was sworn in, the president has the right to declassify any and everything he sees fit. So God only knows. He could have declassified the whole Roswell incident, the Project Blue Book. He could have declassified anything right up until the minute Joe was sworn in. Trump had the right to declassify anything. So, and it was a tug of war between him and the archives or something. But I'm thinking it goes deeper. They're looking for something that might embarrass them. They don't care about him. They don't care about January 6th so much. If he's got something, he declassified something that might embarrass the FBI, the CIA, all the other alphabet agencies, you can bet that they'd do this kind of crap. They never went after Eric Holder when he was in contempt of Congress. When Hillary Clinton had all those emails in her private server, which was illegal, was hacked, her private server, they allowed her attorney to move everything to a thumb drive and then bring the thumb drive in for Congress, Philo, or the DOJ. But oh no, we're gonna, you know what? You really stepped on your dicks and Janes this time, mister. Because, half the country is kind of like up in arms. And we can see the dual systems of justice we have here, where the president's son flew around the planet taking money and doing dirty deals with all these third world countries and China and everything. And they got him on video, smoking cocaine, sniffing cocaine, weighing and selling and parceling out cocaine to hookers. And we don't even know if these hookers were, over 21 or over 18 or 16. I mean, that's okay, though. They've had that Hunter Biden laptop since, December of 2019, okay? And they haven't busted him or anything. And what they think they're going to do is they think that he's going to get indicted in Delaware, and that way that'll seal up all these records, and then Daddy Joe can come out and pardon him. And it's not going to look good, but we think that's the way it's probably headed. And the FBI, they even had during the Russian collusion thing, the FBI had an office inside Perkins Coie, a private law firm that Hillary Clinton had retained. How many, an FBI office inside a lawyer's office? This is insane, man. And, the DOJ has held back these things in defiance. And recently, a bunch of FBI whistleblowers came out, and they went to the Senate subcommittee, or Charles Grassley and Ron Johnson, and told them that they that the FBI was burying the Hunter Biden case, and that they were pumping up the January 6th case against Trump. There's nothing there. It's crazy. So the judge that signed, the magistrate that signed the warrant is linked to Epstein. And whatever happened to that? And how many trips did Bill Clinton take down to Perverted Island, with these underage hookers and stuff? Oh, they threw his pimp girlfriend in jail. Cool, Terry. They threw his pimp girlfriend in jail, but and he committed suicide in a jail cell, supposedly. But all these people that went down to Perverted Island, none of them got warrants or searches or anything, and no video. Epstein had video cameras all over Perverted Island, and not a lick of video has shown up either. Isn't that funny? So anyways, it looks like they came out and the Senate okayed the Inflation Reduction Act, or as we call it, the Inflation Production Act, because it's going to produce inflation. They know it. And even Bernie came out Saturday and said so. Did you see that?
It seems Bernie and Trump have a few things that they have in common.
Oh, they have a lot in common. I watched every one of their speeches, both of them, in 2016, because, hey, that's me. It's what I do. It's all for you in this show. But I watched every one of it. They were so similar, it was insane. Of course, Bernie did a massive left-hand turn in 2020, but he still beat the heck out of Biden, and the machine just buried Bernie 2 times.
Yep, that's why I don't ever vote for them anymore.
Man, I'm telling you.
I told you a long time ago, Steve, both parties suck, and that proves it.
Things are changing. If you saw the primaries last week, things are changing, and they're changing fast. Like Biden says, this is not your father's Republican Party anymore. These are ultra MAGA people. Well, what's wrong with making America great again? I mean, what are we supposed to do? Make, Lithuania great again?
Well, that's an idea. I could go along with that.
Yeah, a lot of nice-looking blondes over there.
Well, did you see, the band one of the bands I like, Delane?
Yep.
They got a new singer, and she's Romanian-born, now living in Italy, and she is very, very talented. Very good singer.
But outside of their women.
Well, why would we do that?
Yeah, this is America after all. Come on.
And we're guys. Come on here.
We want to make America great again, for crying out loud. And it's like, it's you're damn right it's not your father's or your grandfather's Republican Party, because the old Republican Party was a bunch of country club fools and rich people, and people who thought they could get rich. And that was basically it. They were the loyal opposition, and they were semi-conservative, But the new Republican Party, since Trump gave them the boot to the Bushes. And did you see that? My God. Did you see that commercial that Dick Cheney put out for his daughter in Wyoming?
No, I didn't. What was that
about?
Oh,
my God. You have to see it, Philo. They brought out Darth Vader himself. They wheeled him out, and he's with his new heart. He's sitting there, and he's wheezing, and he's got some and he's got a brand new cowboy hat on. It don't even have a fingerprint on it, right?
I did see the picture of it.
Yeah, and he says, Donald Trump is the biggest threat to freedom and democracy in this country. We can't let him back anywhere near the White House. It's like, oh my God, this from a guy who has the blood of over 100,000 Iraqis on his hands?
Not to mention how many others.
Yeah.
Who knows who else?
And the shotgun in the face with his lawyer. It's insane. You talk about the deep state. When Dick Cheney comes out and says Trump is a threat to democracy, this is it. Black is white, white is black. And when Darth Vader Cheney comes out and says that Trump's the biggest threat, you're damn right he's the biggest threat. He's the biggest threat to this machine they got going. And they want to have 87,000 new IRS agents. You think they're going to be on the phone helping people with their tax returns? Okay, Bunky? They're gonna be up your butt like proctologists, man. That's where the new FBI agents, the IRS agents, are gonna be. It's crazy, man. You're damn right this is not your father's Republican Party. I'll tell you what, you know what scared him? This is what got the warrant going, I swear. I watched Trump's speech, what was it, Saturday night or something, in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and then he did another speech on Sunday night at the CPAC convention in Dallas. And if you watch those two, the first one in Waukesha was kind of like a rah, 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 let's go get them rally, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But the CPAC rally, he went after the deep state. He said, look, you know, if they're coming after me, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you. Oh, and by the way, I got on my Jerry shirt today. Today is August 8th. It's the anniversary of Jerry Garcia's death. 1995. I got this T-shirt at a Jerry show years and years ago. I only wear it on special occasions.
Hey, did you see Linda Ronstadt died?
Yeah, and what's the other one too? The one with John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, right.
Wow, Linda Ronstadt had some problems.
Yeah, I don't know what they were.
Health problems, yeah.
Because I didn't follow her career much.
Yeah.
But she was pretty, and she sang pretty well.
Oh, she had a great voice. Oh, and on this new Inflation Reduction Act, not only did Bernie come out and say it's going to increase inflation, but guess what they got to keep? The carried interest loophole for trust for these pirate equity firms and the Wall Street types, okay? That's how they avoid taxes. They use this carried interest loophole. And Trump, that's what angered Wall Street in the old Republican Party, is when Trump came out in 2016, he said he wanted to eliminate that carried interest loophole. Oh, did they go nuts over that, mister? And Bernie wanted to get rid of it too, but oh no, Kristen Sinema said, yeah, that's it. If you want my vote, you got to keep the carried interest loophole. And anyways, also there's a lawsuit by a bunch of doctors versus Biden, Fauci, and the social media censors. This ought to be good, because in Discovery they're going to find out how Biden and these people worked with Twitter and Facebox, FACEFUX, to bury medical information. And
isn't it funny when Biden and his bunch got in, they wanted to mandate masks, mandate vaccines, and mandate vaccine cards.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you saw how long that lasted when some of your southern governors said, no way, not happening.
No. Well, at first they came in and they said, be a member like Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden. I mean, there's video of that redheaded wacko or press agent in the White House. I can't even remember her name now. But she came out and she says, oh, we can't mandate vaccines. The federal government doesn't have the power to mandate vaccinations, you know? And Nancy Pelosi said the same thing. And see, this is why people are voting Republican, is because they want their freedom, okay? It was only after like 4 or 5 months that Biden came out and said, we're going to mandate vaccinations, mister. Well, look, see, the Democrats are worried that they're going to lose the election, and they will, okay? Today's primary date. I got to vote before I go home.
I voted already.
Yeah, polls are open till 7. Good for you, Philo. And vote early, vote often. And it's it's like my parents voted Republican all their life. Now that they're dead, they vote Democrat.
Well, do you know that's what what was his name? Richard Daley of Chicago used to say.
Oh, Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, Philly.
Vote early, vote often.
Yeah, but they see, the people do not want what the Democrats are selling. They don't want mandated vaccines. They don't want mandated anything, especially crappy vaccines that don't work, and or mandated masks or any other thing. They don't want boys in girls' locker rooms. Did you see that case in California last week, Philo?
No.
No, they had some transgendered female in the girls' locker room. Somehow he, and I'll say he, I'm sorry, he qualified for the girls' sports team. I can't remember which one it is. I did write it down. But he's in the locker room, fully intact. He's out there in the girls' locker room. He's got long hair, so he's out there just walking around with his Schwanz Tucker and Coca Marocas blowing in the wind. And the girls are all like, oh my God, what the hell's going on here? There's a guy in our friggin' locker room. And they're okay with that. Well, okay, 95% of the American public aren't okay with that. 99% of the American public are not okay with inflation, watching their dollar devalue like nothing because this bonehead has canceled all the oil and gas leases and pipelines and every other damn thing. You know, sure, we can get to net zero. We're just not going to do it overnight. And in the meantime, you're not going to make us poverty-stricken in the meantime.
Isn't it funny when gas and everything goes up, he's there, I'm not to blame, but when it all goes back, which it has gone down a little bit, it's gone back down about 60 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
Now he's taking all the credit.
When it goes up, blame Putin.
Yeah.
When it comes down, thank you. Yep, that was me. That was me and Dr. Jill, mind you. Them greedy oil companies overcharging everyone. And it's just crazy. So the American people don't want trannies in the women's locker rooms. They don't want mandated this and that. They want voter ID, okay? They want our border closed and people to come here legally. They are swamping, this is insane. Did you know, what is it? We have, I wrote it down because I couldn't believe it. We have, they're talking about 87,000 new IRS agents, Philo, right?
Yeah.
Barely 3 to 4% will be helping with phones, helping people do their returns and taxes. 87,000 new IRS agents, yet there are only 29,000 border people on both borders, Canadian and Mexican.
Well, you know, I don't want those Canadians down here playing hockey. I don't want them down here, no.
Somebody called the Howie Carr show last week. He's a northern border agent. And he says they're seeing unprecedented waves of people coming over because you know what happens, Philo? If you cross over the southern border, not only are you going through the desert in the middle of summer, right? But you got to pay the cartel $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 to get your ass across the river, right?
Yeah.
Well, these people have figured out that if they have a passport, they can just hop on a plane in Mexico City, fly to Toronto, and then just cross the border up here and save $5,000.
Yep.
So it's a lot cheaper, and you don't have to deal with the cartels, the rattlesnakes, the sidewinders, the varmints.
Just don't go to Quebec, because they'll make you speak French, and you won't be able to learn it because it's not Parisian French.
No, and they'll throw Putins at you. They do that. You've been walking down the street.
I never liked that stuff.
And bang, you get hit by this big-ass dumpling, man. It's like, what the hell was that? Putin!
You go to Toronto, eh?
Yeah, it's not that Putin either. Oh, yeah. Oh, and all these supplements, too. I'm watching this. I swear to God, when I listen to Howie Carr's radio show, I call it the Howie Carr Medicine Show. And they're doing this on all the cable networks, too. And they get around the Pure Food and Drug Act. They can't say that their product cures any disease or it actually lowers blood pressure or relieves pain or anything like that, right? So you know what their weasel words are, Philo?
It could be. It might.
Supports and promotes.
Yes.
It supports healthy blood pressure.
It might help.
It promotes pain relief. So you got all these geezers like me who are getting old and you know, our joints are aching and our cartilage is worn out and we can't get pain meds, you know. But damn it, these people, these shysters are on TV night and day pushing this crap.
Speaking of shysters, I saw the best one last week.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just for 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, about 1 minute, I just wanted to see this. You remember a guy named Creflo Dollar?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez. He's showing his ministries are helping people all around the world. So we're showing a bunch of people from Africa, right?
Yeah.
And to help these people, you have to send him some seed money of $1,000.
Oh, sure. And if you're really good, you go to North Korea, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a ministry in North Korea. Oh, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And for all of you people who are into alternative energy and better batteries, Swamp Viking turned me on to this. Look up vanadium flow batteries if you get time.
Want me to look it up?
Yeah, if you want. They're different than these batteries that we're talking about because, see, they're talking. Listen to this. If we keep going the way we're going, with our supposed switch to electric cars and this incredible transition, Philo.
Yep.
According to the International Energy Agency, we'll need to manufacture all these new batteries, we will need 50 new lithium mines, 60 new cobalt mines, and 70 new nickel mines. And we got 9, and the USA's stake in the current mines are only 9 to 6%, where China has something like, China has 77% share in these African mines, mind you.
Well, I got a definition for you.
Okay, shoot.
The vanadium redox battery is a type of rechargeable flow battery that employs vanadium ions in different oxidation states to store chemical potential energy. The present was patented by the University of New South Wales in Australia in 1986.
Huh. The Swamp Viking told me it was a DARPA project, but I guess not.
Oh, it could be. I mean, that's, you know.
Maybe they were just the first to patent it.
Yeah. And these new batteries for these Teslas,
Yep.
they can't do anything with them. They can't recharge them. They can't recycle them. They can't do anything with them.
Yeah, they're going to become toxic waste.
Exactly.
But that's okay. It's okay. No problem.
That's all right. Got to save the world. Green energy.
And here's another thing the Democrats and the progressives are selling. Safe injection facilities. And remember they were saying that they weren't handing out crack pipes and meth pipes, Philo? Well, it turns out they are handing out crack pipes and meth pipes, okay? Wow. This reporter, I forgot his name, you can find him on the interweb, he went over to Portland or Bangor, I don't know, there's a couple of places up in Maine where, now this, I always thought there was a separation between church and state, but it's called the Maine Church of Safe Injection. Oh, it was in Sanford, Maine. And they were handing out crack and meth pipes, Philo, yep. Copper scrubs to screen it with, fentanyl test strips, and condoms. So we'll be handing out needles, we're handing out meth pipes, we're handing out crack pipes, we're handing out the copper screens to go into the crack pipes, but damn it, we're going to ban menthol cigarettes.
Well, you know, this is what Steve, you brought up something very interesting. When I was a counselor, you would not believe the emphasis they put on teenage smoking. Yet, since I was the only licensed counselor, they threw me in with all these kids, screening people and having these guys and gals pee into a cup to see if there was anything else. Yet I've got other people who could die of cocaine or heroin overdoses or alcoholic withdrawals, and they're worried about some teenagers and cigarettes. This state is so messed up when it comes to addiction. You can't even imagine how messed up it is.
Well, it's spread to DC. It's spread to DC. If they're handing out needles, that means they're okay with fentanyl.
Yep.
I mean, so you've opened up the border. What do you got to? Do you think they got to deal with the cartel on bringing this stuff in, or what? It's crazy. Well, let's get to some news, really.
Yeah, you got to ban menthol cigarettes. That's going to save the world.
Yeah, menthol cigarettes, we're going to ban them, and fried chicken, too. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Oh, and here we are. That wacko kid, what the hell's his name? Nicholas Cruz. The guy who shot up Parkland, I guess he's finally going to trial now, Philo?
Yeah, I heard.
It's taken this long. Oh, and they're saying he's got a bad brain because his mother his mother was drinking and doing drugs, so he's got fetal alcohol syndrome. So yeah, he just had a bad brain. That's all.
Well, if he does have it, then they got to do something with him. You know?
I don't care. There's no excuse. You know, what part of thou shalt not kill don't you get, man? Really? Anyways, here we are. After a 1 week break, the side will spend a week without the jury arguing before the judge over what evidence his defense can present about his mother's drinking and drug abuse affected his brain and whether defects can be seen on scans. This Florida law professor said arguments over fetal alcohol can go back 20 years. Brain scans, MRIs, we can learn from them. The argument will be over where the evidence reaches a standard of relevance and reliability to be permitted. Let's see. And appellate courts have said that a defendant on trial for his life deserves wide latitude. Well, you know what? He murdered 14 students and 3 staff members. He killed 17 people. So you know what? He deserves to die. And speaking of which, our FBI blew it. They blew it in this case. They had calls from his aunt, said he was torturing animals, he was stockpiling weapons and knives and every other damn thing. He was wearing trench coats and, you know, the whole typical thing. And they just blew it off, Philo, because their call center, he was in Florida, and their call center was in like Boise, Idaho or some damn thing. And here's another thing. Here's an anniversary. On this day in history, this is from, I had to write this down, the FBI in 1942. You'll love this story. Thanks, Philo. And this day in history, 1942, this was Monday, August 8th, yesterday, 6 Nazi saboteurs who were captured after landing in the U.S. were executed in Washington, D.C. 2 others who cooperated with the authorities were spared. Now, did you ever hear about that story, Philo?
No, I never did.
Most people don't, because you know what? They hid it. And why did they hide it? Because the FBI blew it in that case. They blew it in 1942. They had, what they did was the Nazis got a bunch of perfect English speakers, okay? They got these guys who had lived in the United States, or in one case, a couple cases, Germans who lived in the United States and spoke German as a second language. They went over to Germany for training, and they were Nazis. And then they dropped them off by submarine and rubber boats off the coast of Long Island, okay? And get this, while they were there on the coast of Long Island, one of these submarine watch guys, you know, they used to have civil defense guys walking up and down the beaches back then during the war, Philo?
Yeah.
He came up on them, and he caught him on the beach at night. And what they did was they played drunk. They played drunk, and they told the watch guy that they were all going off to the basic training, and they just wanted to get together and get drunk one last time, and he believed them. Okay. So then they go to their drop places and pick up a bunch of cash, and they're going around the country. They're burning factories, blowing up war production facilities and stuff like that. And a couple of them, the ones who were born here in the United States, these Nazis, a couple of them kept contacting the FBI and telling them, look, you know, I'm here. Like they said, what was it, 2 cooperated? 2 others who cooperated with authorities were spared the death penalty. These 2 kept calling the FBI and telling them, we're going to blow up this place. And the FBI didn't believe them. And then that place would be blown up. We're going to blow up this factory and this electrical substation. And then they blow that up. Finally, J. Edgar Hoover kept ignoring them. Finally, a couple of agents, I guess, went to Congress or somebody and said, look, we're getting warnings from these guys. You got to look into this. It's more than coincidence. And so after the FBI blew it, they finally grabbed these saboteurs, 6 of them, after landing in the U.S. Yeah, they landed all right. They landed right on Long Island. And it's the same thing now. The FBI blows it left and right. Oh, they're finding more bodies in Lake Mead as the water level drops, Philo.
Wow.
Yep. More human remains are found in Lake Mead, 4th time since May. The Park Service, 11 a.m. at Swim Beach, set up a dive team to retrieve them. On May 1st, a barrel containing human remains were found near Hemingway Harbor. Police believe the remains were that of a man who died from a gunshot wound, and the body was dumped in the 70s or 80s. Yeah, sounds like a mob hit. 2 in the hat, Philo.
Could be.
Less than a week later, authorities found human skeletal remains at Calville Bay. Okay. Oh, yeah. 3 people were killed by a lightning strike in Lafayette Park across from the White House. They got that lightning strike on video, too. Man, it zapped these people. A 29-year-old bank executive from L.A. Was hit and killed. And 2 people from Wisconsin, a husband and wife, were celebrating their 56th wedding anniversary, were struck and died. Okay, no problem there. You know, when they put out a lightning watch, you might want to pay attention.
You might want to, you might want to think about it first, huh?
Yeah, or you know, I mean, this is an old remedy, not remedy. It's an old wives' tale, but it works. If you're out and you either have to lie flat or get in a depression, or get under a tree. If the lightning's going to strike a tree, at least, you know, you might get burns or you might get hit with flying pieces of bark, but you're not going to get killed, likely. Anyways, get this. On climate, action key for U.S. and China. Well, not anymore. Guess who backed out of their climate talks now, Philo?
Probably us.
No. Pelosi killed the planet. She had to go to Taiwan, and now China has backed out completely out of any and all climate cooperation.
Who cares? They were going to do what they wanted anyway.
Well, exactly. You know, like a communist country is going to do what you want them to.
Actually, I applaud her for going anywhere. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad she did.
Yeah, even though she thinks Ben Franklin was a president.
Well, that's okay. He was close enough.
He's on the $100 bill, man.
Hey, he was the father of a country. He had a whole bunch of illegitimate kids.
Yeah, little bastards.
Yes, they were.
One of them was the governor of New Jersey.
Oh, jeez, I can't think of his name.
His name was Franklin, and he was a royalist. He wound up siding with the Brits, and he hightailed it off to England during the Revolution.
Huh.
Yeah, there we are. The last two agreements the world made to battle climate change came only after the U.S. and China, the biggest polluters, made deals with each other. Now it's in jeopardy with China cutting off climate talks with the U.S. because of Pelosi's trip to Taiwan. Ah, yeah. It's not surprising, but it definitely stings, said this professor at Georgetown.
I thought you were going to say Chris Christie.
Yeah. I hope this is only a temporary pause. Well, you know what the old-timers used to say, if you hope in one hand and take a dump in the other, tell me which one gets filled first.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Halting climate talks imperils progress for the new summit in November. The thorny technical issues related to reducing methane. U.S. Presidential Envoy for Climate, John Forbes Kerry, said Friday.
Oh, John Kerry.
Suspending cooperation doesn't punish the United States, it punishes the world, particularly the developing world. The human and financial costs will be catastrophic if countries can't set aside differences to address climate change. And we'll leave out India because they're a developing country and they pollute more than the U.S., but I'm John Forbes Kerry. I have to take my private jet. You know, they've asked what his budget is for his whole climate czar division of the U.S. government. They won't release the figures. They won't say how many employees they have, but they said that they will release the figures, but not until November of 2024. Okay. Sure, no problem. Yeah, let's see. There's a good possibility that the U.S. then in response, China taking big steps, even if they aren't talking 101. These people are insane. China will need to respond to the new climate change bill coming out of Congress, even if climate talks are suspended. Well, no, they won't. No, they won't. In particular, pledges of public investment in developing and commercializing advanced clean technologies will get China's attention. That's because China hopes to dominate the clean energy markets. Yeah, they're building solar panels and batteries and selling them to us. They are not using them over there. They are building coal plants, hydro plants, and it's crazy. They don't care about the climate. They're commies. Come on, man. Oh, Jesus, I can't even read the end of it. It's crazy,
man. Did you see the Chinese premier or president or whatever he's called actually has to please the party because he's running for a third term. If the party doesn't like him, they can get rid of him.
An unprecedented third term.
Yeah. And because people who used to always say, well, communist countries are dictatorships. No, they're not. They're oligarchies. And that's how they got rid of Nikita Khrushchev. He fell out of favor with the party.
Yeah. See, ping, ping, ping. And here we are. This is, these guys are hurt. The Democrats are so butthurt over the primary wins last week. All the people that Trump endorsed won.
Is that the Senate or the House?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. J.D. Vance in Ohio. This other guy, Blake Masters in Arizona. Kerry Lake in Arizona. It's all these Make America Great Again people, because they're saying, look, we're not going to Washington to stay there forever. We're not going there to make friends. We're going there to do the work of the American people. And it's about time, like Biden says, this is not your grandfather's Republican Party. You're damn right it isn't.
Neither party is anymore.
Well, I'm telling you, this is a new wave. This is it, man. These people ran on shoestrings. They didn't have any outside or PAC money. They went door to door. They held rallies in all these little towns. They did the legwork, okay? And that's what it took. Besides having Trump's endorsement, Gibbs also shared Trump's penchant for conspiracy theories. He parroted Trump's lies about a stolen election and once spread false claims that Hillary's campaign chair participated in a satanic ritual that involved bodily fluids. Okay, it wasn't a satanic ritual. It was this woman, that Jewish woman, who paints. Remember, she did paintings with crap and whiz and semen and blood. Oh, God, what's her name?
If she's not possessed, she should be.
Yeah. You can look her up. Just look up artist who uses blood and bodily fluids. Could you look that up, Philo?
Okay, hold on. We got. I like Google. Google's pretty good. They'll give you information. Okay. Artist who uses blood and bodily. Okay. Female artist who uses blood and bodily fluids. Marina Abramovich.
That's it. That's it. Abramovich.
Abramovic actually is a Serbian conceptual and performance artist.
That's one. There's another one too, but anyway, she was affiliated with the Clinton campaign.
How about Judy Chicago?
No, it's a Jewish name. It's a real Jewish name. You can't miss it.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh no, that's Andy Warhol. That's a long time ago.
Andy Warhol. He's dead and gone, man. And here's another one. Get this. This guy Gibbs drew support from an unusual source. House Democrats spent nearly half a million in the final week on ads that played up his ties to Trump and labeled too conservative, and a ploy to get Democrats to boost the general candidate who they believe will give the Democrat Hillary Scholten a better chance of winning. So the Democrats are giving money to the Republicans. This is insane. Oh, yeah. Also on the ballot Tuesday, Washington State, Herrera, Butler, and Dan Newhouse, who both faced Trump-backed challengers. But those contests were too early to call because Washington State, well, they lost. Herrera Butler's challenge included Joe Kent, a former Green Beret who cultivated links to the right-wing extremist groups and employs a campaign ad who is a member of the Proud Boys. Oh my God! He probably drank milk for breakfast and was a Boy Scout at one time too.
Now that's disgusting.
It's crazy, man. Senate candidate in Arizona, Blake Masters, whose campaign was bankrolled by Peter Thiel, I take that back, well, at least it wasn't PAC money, won his primary after echoing Trump's lies of a stolen election and playing up cultural grievances that animate the right, including critical race theories and allegations of big tech censorship.
Oh, no, allegations.
Yeah, like, hello? What do you think, we're stupid? Unbelievable. Oh, God, I can't take it. I can't take it. Inspectors okay, first Ukraine grain shipment. Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Still, a Black Sea voyage entails significant risk because of the war. 2 civilian ships hit explosive devices near the Danube River's estuary, according to a data reporter at Lloyd's List. Well, who put out the mines? The Russians pulled back their mines because they did. It's the Ukrainian mines, but they don't tell you that there. Oh no, the Ukrainians could do no wrong. Here we are. Oh man, here's another one. Geopologists. These people are geopologists, man. OPEC Plus is set to boost oil output, but at a slower pace. Well, actually, no. They said that they were going to go up by maybe 100,000 gallons a month or 100,000 barrels a month. It's a drop in the bucket. I mean, it's more than nothing, but it's not anywhere near what Biden had asked him. He put on his knee pads, and they didn't come through. Poor Joe. We're sorry. You know, it's your birthday. Here we are. Paul Pelosi pleads not guilty to misdemeanor charges. Oh, and they don't mention the drugs part. In the arrest, they mentioned that alcohol and drugs. But yet, when he came to court to be arraigned, the drug part just mysteriously dropped. And you know what they said? Oh, well, that's boilerplate language. They put that on every arrest record, arrest report. It's like, no, they don't. Every cop in California is all like, no, they don't. They only do that when there's drugs involved. But, you know, he's Paul Pelosi. He's 82, man.
You can do that in Vermont because you know it's true anyway.
Yeah. And here we are. You talk about going after ex-presidents like a third world country. Mexico's Attorney General office said Tuesday it opened lines of investigation against the former president, Enrique Peña Nieto, several weeks after anti-money laundering agency accused him of handling millions of dollars in illegal funds. Peña Nutty is under investigation for election-related crimes tied to company money laundering and illicit enrichment, according to the AG's office. Wow. You think Trump will do that to Biden? I think Biden's going to just fake dementia. Well, he doesn't have to fake it.
Nope.
And here's another one. Oh, these are our economy numbers. They came out and right before we did the show last week, and they said, we're in a recession. It's 2 quarters of negative GDP. Oh, that's just one marker. It's not really a recession. Because we say so. We're just changing the definition, that's all. It's like, what the hell? You people can't even describe what a woman is? What's a woman? I'm not a biologist. I don't know. Thanks, Philo. But it's just insane. Now listen to this. These are their own numbers. The clearest signal of recession is underway as a steady rise in job losses and surge in unemployment. Now listen to these numbers. In the past, an increase in the unemployment rate of 0.3 percentage point on average over the past 3 months has meant the recession will soon follow. Let's see. Many economists monitor the number of people who seek unemployment benefits each week, which indicates whether layoffs are worsening. Now, they came out and they said, what was it? We've added like 500,000 jobs or something, 528,000 jobs, right? That's what they said in July. But yet, according to the unemployment figures, weekly applications for jobless aid averaged over the past 4 weeks have risen for 8 straight weeks to nearly 250,000, the highest level since last November. So, okay, if we added 528,000 jobs and the claims for unemployment have risen to 250K a week, what the hell? 250K a week, that's 500, that's $1 million a month, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What the hell? So you go way in the back of the article and they say, well, we've added 580,000 jobs, but yet the back of the article says we've had 1 million jobless claims for unemployment.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you know,
which is it?
a friend of mine said during the Bush years, they said Bush's people said, we've created 1 million new jobs. And he said, yeah, I got 3 of them. Nice.
Yeah. and we're being beggared by inflation. It's crazy.
Yep.
And they're going to keep the Fed's going to keep raising rates, and they're going to make it worse, and it's going to be a damned depression. It's going to
be a cluster.
Yeah, it's insane. To win over cinema, Democrats dropped plans to close a tax loophole long enjoyed by wealthy Americans, so-called carried interest, which under current law taxes wealthy hedge fund managers and other Wall Streeters at a 20% rate. The left for years has sought to boost the carried interest rate, hiked to the 37% in the original bill, more in line with upper income earners. Senator Sinema won't allow it. And you wonder why. It's like, my God, man, Bernie should have been president. Bernie should have. Federal deficit spiked during the pandemic when federal spending soared and tax revenues fell as the nation's economy churned through shutdowns. Well, who shut down the economy when we didn't have to? And who refused to open it back up when we had people like Biden coming out and saying, you can't, you'll lose your job. You'll get kicked out of the military if you don't take the crappy vaccine.
Yep.
This all goes back to Fauci, man.
Oh, yeah, he's just as culpable as any of them.
We're going to find out, I'm pretty sure we're going to find out we knew about the cut marks. I was going through my records, my questions that I had when I had press credentials, and they were allowing me questions of the governor and the health officer. And I'm looking through this stuff, and I got the Nature articles and stuff. It's right here. According to Obama banned the crazy research from 2014 to 2017, and in Nature magazine, 12/19/17, Fauci lifted the ban, or the NIH lifted the ban, which is Fauci, he's head of the NIH, or was. He lifted the ban and resumed funding. And in 2014, the accidents they complained about, Fauci licensed the China lab and gave them $3.7 million through EcoHealth Alliance, a cutout, to resume these crazy experiments on the coronaviruses. In January of 2018, the U.S. Embassy cabled Washington, D.C., screaming about the safety of the Wuhan lab, bat SARS-like viruses that interact with ACE2 receptors, and the human transmission was likely. That was reported in the Asia Times on 4/22/2020. Don't get me going. Don't get me going.
I don't understand, though, why Rand Paul couldn't nail him on that.
He can, but they don't have the power. If Rand Paul says, I think we should have the committee should have the Justice Department look into him or start a criminal probe. Rand Paul is in the minority, okay? By what? One vote? Two votes? Two senators. So that means that he's outnumbered on the committee, so he can't. They won't do what he says. Or recommends, rather.
But I mean, even when it shows him grilling Fauci, so for some reason Fauci was slippery enough to get out of everything.
Oh, yeah.
And to some people, Fauci's answers are plausible enough. Not to me, though.
Oh, no. Because we can see through the weasel words.
Yep.
Oh, here we are. After ruling it's open season on U.S. gun controls. Well, you know what? The Second Amendment says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, okay? Oh, jeez. Here's Joe right here. Oh, sure.
There we go.
Sorry, folks. Hot mics.
I want the right to keep and arm bears.
Yeah. Oh, that's not Joe. That's Merrick Garland with the horns. Yeah, oh yeah, they're whining about the gun rights movement has been given a weapon of mass destruction will annihilate 75% of gun laws eventually, because the gun laws are illegal. And it's the same thing with the Fourth Amendment. I look at that Trump raid last night. The Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, papers, possessions, etc., shall not be infringed, right? It's that except upon warrant, a warrant which is by affirmation specifically describing the places to be searched and places or persons to be searched and things to be found, all right? We're going to find out that this was a fishing expedition and they're after something in Trump land.
Okay, last but not least, Steve.
Oh, last but not least, oh my God. Okay, last but not least. Okay, last but not least, get this. It's the anniversary of Star Wars, Philo.
Yeah.
Magic movie. And you know what? I was there. I was like 21 years old, 20 years old.
Yeah, I was 25, I think. 26.
Yeah. And I used to get Rolling Stone, and they said, there's this killer movie coming out. You might want to see it. And we went to the theater in San Diego, and we stood in line on a hot day in Mission Valley, and it was unbelievable. And the people that came out of the theater were going right back in line to watch it a second time. It was insane.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And once again, you wasted a perfectly good hour of your life watching this stupid show. So hopefully we'll see you again next week, inshallah. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. So until then, get down on your hands and knees in the men-only mosque. Sniff the bum of the guy in the man dress in front of you. Head east and worship the meteorite in Mecca and say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Akbar. Oh, my Jerry shirt. There's Jerry.
And a happy
right there.
Deus Magnus Est to everyone.
Me that this is
okay,
now,
first graders.
This is the information that are given to teachers so that they are prepared to answer kids' questions. But we don't know what age group we're talking about specifically. Is that true?
That's right. And so these questions, the only appropriate answer is that's not an appropriate thing to be talking about in class. Ask your parents.
She does not look very happy about that. I hope they can remove that, whatever it is.
The horn is approximately 5 inches long and said to be solid.
Oh, poor thing. How she survives with that. You just want to know, is this something particular to this poor old woman, or
me so horny?
Any of us? Is it even contagious? As a zoologist, I've seen a lot of weird things, but this really
me so horny. Me so horny.
As long as
me so horny.
Cutaneous horns are growths of compacted keratin. Sometimes they can be cancerous, sometimes they're not.
In our earliest days of our founding of our country, Benjamin Franklin's presidency said, freedom and democracy. Freedom and democracy on one thing, security here. If we can't have either if we don't have both. So, security, economics, security, economy, and again, and governance, they're all related, and we want Taiwan to always have